Season 9. It's still the first round of the Swiss, but there's only 2 more matches to be played before we head over to that second round. And today is one of the last ones. My name is Max, and tonight I'm accompanied by McCready. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How I hope we're doing well, all and one and all. So a very exciting game today coming up because we've got two teams that not only sound alike, have been have been up against each other before, and two teams, MG Cook and QuQ, they're going to be making me trip up quite a few times tonight. It's going to be a good time though, because like you say, this is a best of three again because we've changed up the system a little bit. Fourth season 9 for the Swiss, that best of three is the stage, and I think it's one of the things like from last season. It focuses a lot more on the early round as well. It allows for teams to kind of have a little kind of slip ups, a couple of errors in those first couple of games, but then they're able to hit the ground running. So I feel like the stamina of teams in a best of three is appreciated a lot more, especially when it's this early brought into it.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game, like you said already. I think we're going to struggle with this name quite a few times because, like you already said, it's going to be QuQ versus QuQ. Two names that sound very similar. The only thing we can really do is to call them MG QuQ to really make the difference because, of course, they are also part of the MG organization, just like teams like Minions, Aspire, and Wit. So that's basically the main way we can tell them apart. But mind if we just might make a few issues here. But like I said before, this is the second last match of the Swiss stage of the first week or the first round of it. And then next week, Monday, we'll start kicking off with the second round where we'll have teams divided into the high part of the bracket and the low part of the bracket, but no eliminations yet because that's going to be a little bit after that. But let's start talking about this match, Grady. We have, of course, the predictions, nice visual that we can go over. We can see what the community is expecting of this match, but also what some of the production members are expecting. And I'm actually seeing some very mixed results here.
Yeah, I mean, this is arguably the most kind of balanced I've seen it before when working on one of these games. Normally, there is a clear favorite, especially from the production and from the community. At the moment, like you say, though, we've got yourself, Nanos, and Puffo all backing up the side of QuQ, whereas Ryujin and Ohotanex is going for the side of MG QuQ. And the socials kind of split the same. It's kind of leaning a little bit more towards QuQ, but there is still that kind of MG fan base still back in there, boys in blue on that one. Looking at this, I feel like, I feel like this is kind of what we expect going into it as well. I know I'm not on there as a prediction, but from what I've kind of seen so far, I feel like we're going to see a pretty balanced game, really. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a third map.
No, definitely not. And while talking about these two teams a little bit further, what we may expect of them, we have a little visual here that actually shows a bit more in-depth statistics of these two teams, where we can see like their win rate, their best maps, their worst maps. Of course, mind that these are like from OPL matches only, and the worst map can even be a map that they never even played before. But in general, or like they only played once and only lost once. But in general, this does give us a bit of an idea that, for example, in this case, QuQ has played 19 laps and has won it. While QuQ has played a Clubhouse and has won it a few times. But the win rate for QuQ is definitely a bit more interesting here compared to the side of QuQ.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, they got that 80% win rate as opposed to QuQ's 64%. But the thing that really kind of stands out to me is we can see that the best map for QuQ is Clubhouse. And that really doesn't surprise you for a competitive team that a map like Clubhouse is something they're going to be strong on. For QuQ, their best map is Nighthaven. Now, that win percentage isn't as high, like you say, but it's on a map like Nighthaven. That is one of those where we're still in the stage where a lot of teams will only go to that map if they're really confident about playing it and they know that they can win. And Oregon being the worst one, it kind of shows, like you say, they might not have even played it yet in OPL. That's one that kind of steps out. Well, they should know how to play Oregon. So what have they been playing instead that they've been playing better than how they play Oregon? That's where I'm looking at QuQ and I'm thinking there might be something a little bit exciting just waiting to show itself.
Yeah, it's actually even interesting that Oregon is still being pulled up as it's no longer in a map pool even. So even though like it is there, whether they have played it or not, it doesn't really matter that much as it's no longer part of the pool. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. But with Clubhouse and Nighthaven Labs being the best maps for both of these teams, I can highly imagine that if they didn't get banned before, that we will see them being picked in the map ban phase. And
there we go.
Just bring it up right now, and we can see exactly that the best map of each team, picked by each team, where QuQ is picking Clubhouse first to start on with, and Nighthaven Labs coming from the side of QuQ. So each team gets to play the best map, but then with Cafe Dostoevsky as the decider, which wasn't part of either of the two teams' best or worst maps.
And I feel like with that map being that kind of backup, that's one where both teams should feel confident, they should feel good. But like you say, there's a reason both these teams have picked their best maps right out the gate. These two teams have played each other before a couple of times. Now, previously they have played against each other, I believe, in a best of one, and it was QuQ that came up in favor of that one, and it was a 3-7 victory in favor of themselves. But when they played in Voltage League and they did a best of 3, it was actually QuQ who was able to win that. So both these teams, they've got that history there already. And I feel like at this point, they're not really going to hold back anything. They're not going to save anything for that last second. They're just going to get that early advantage, especially for the side of QuQ. They're going to take what they can get. Because if they've got to go to QuQ's best map, which is Clubhouse, which you can see on the screen already, that means they need to answer in fashion, where they'll be taking us to Night Haven. Now, taking a look at a map like Clubhouse, Bose, I feel like there's not really much that can be said about this map that hasn't already been said, but we can give it a go as we do go in. Let's take a look at these operator bans. I feel like we're going to see probably something like we normally do, where we see maybe a Ying and a Monty taken off the board, very aggressive play styles, very controlling of the space that they're able to take, and it's going to be the Monty taken away. Immediately, you think of Rafters, you think of pushing that bottom floor on dirt or oil pit. Immediately that's just shut down. Like I say, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Ying or maybe even I want to say a Maverick to follow, because a Maverick has a lot of uses on a map like Clubhouse, which can't just be outright outright shut down, like I say, a Thatcher and an Ace. It is going to be Grim who's going to follow then, and just like Ying, very aggressive, very strong, very situational. Being taken away from the right team can really take the little sting out of that attack. Do pardon the pun on that one as we move on to the defense. Looking to see something similar. I'm not expecting to see his army make it through. The ability to make those barricades, set up that defensive situation, and the fact that they come through late round is massive. But it's Tubra that gets taken away off the board so far. It's operator again. Like I say, it's just shutting down aggressive plays. And by taking Tubra off that, you're kind of allowing yourself to keep that on the board for the side of QuQ will attack first. Take that Tubra away, they can't be slowed down by that ice gadget, and the footsteps then will show for C4s. And the second shield to be taken away, Bosemax, is Clash will join them, and no doubt there's a lot of people cheering that they're not going to have to go up against a Clash.
Yeah, but these operator bans now, Dongle, indeed, Clash being one of those annoying operators, especially in the right hands. I mean, teams that we usually see playing Clash, for example, Minions can be one of those teams who's very good with Clash. Maybe Minions has shared a bit of that intel with their team QuQ, you know, like they're part of the same organization. So some strats might be shared here.
Attackers
but in this case, it was QuQ betting the Clash themselves.
Yeah.
Well, potentially it is a very good operator for the side of QuQ as well.
And I feel like Clash, if you look at QuQ as well, they're on that bottom floor site, and you can see that Yasuki there has just made a hole in that triple wall. With that triple wall, that is the perfect size for somebody carrying a shield to walk through. For example, a Clash. So that might be QuQ while they've banded out. I feel like that might be something they could maybe work into a strat in the future if Clash is on the board. Not something they're going to have to worry about at the moment. Heading down to his bottom floor defense, they will be looking at bunkering in. They might have a couple of players to roam around with, but having the Valkyrie, having the Azami barricades, the mute jammers, the mirror windows, this screams out to me that they're going to try and turtle in on this site. They're going to make it so that QuQ aren't able to just rush in, and they're going to make sure that that defense is one that QuQ are really going to have to work to dismantle. And while they got the pieces of the puzzle, they might just need Flores, Ram, Buck, and IQ all joining the attacking lineup.
Indeed. And in terms of defense, it actually seems like that every single defender is playing downstairs at the moment. I would say this is one of those bomb sites that actually allows the defense to play all the way downstairs, as it's just such a bunkered bomb site. But it also gives a nice advantage here for the attacking side, where it has plenty of time to actually start putting pressure on the bomb site itself. It's just a matter of time before they realize every defender is downstairs. They might even already know because of the pre-placed scans and pre-placed drones, as they already seem to be putting pressure on the bomb site itself. Floors already being destructed. Hatch is being opened up, and Ash already playing here on blue, just waiting for defender to just make a little mistake, step out a little bit too far, and get that opening kill. A very quick entry here from the side of QuQ.
Yes,
well, the pressure is on for the defensive side.
Exactly, and they need to withstand 2 minutes of that pressure. Like you said, that you can't really understate how impactful having that early control as an attacking team is. Now this IQ is going to come in a massive favor, going to be able to start picking away some of these Valkyrie cameras that have got a bit of damage with that C4. Hasn't found this one just yet. C4 hasn't gone off just yet. Half the round getting to that point now, so the attackers of QuQ have to start taking a look towards what they can do. They've got the players in the right positions, they've got 1 or 2 up boards blue, they've got players holding up main stairs, and as Akashi takes a little bit of damage, you feel like this might just start a little bit more.
There's so many of the floor being opened up. Just the only hatch that's still closed at the moment is the kitchen hatch. I'm not sure whether they eventually open it up. They don't seem to have any harbor utility whatsoever, so it seems like that hatch is going to be closed, which is pretty big here for the defensive side. This will complicate the attack. And with this, well, they just have one more safe area to play, as the armor is not as vulnerable as it usually would be.
And the player of it's going to be Larry, going to be taken down off the board. That IQ not able to push forward. That 5.52 commando, a very, very strong weapon in the right hand, will be taken down by the blue. The banner pellets will go off, but these mirror windows will stand strong on that triple wall. And as a result, these attackers are really going to have to think about this push, and they're going to have to put a lot of utility towards it. The drop does come through down into Moto. The util does try and find a kill, but Soup's taken down by Yasuki with that Vector going around for the swing. 30 seconds left. And while they don't have the case in hand, they're going to have to make a push for it. That means Ethan's going to drop in. Looks for a kill, but it's going to be Dennis finding Nexo. Seconds ticks down. Atox finds an answer. Dennis has one of his own. They're going to look for another kill. Ethan gets a second with that armor seed as Yasuki falls. And now it's down to a 2 versus 2 in 10 seconds.
10 seconds to go.
Behind those barricades, it's going to be Akashi taken away. And a 2 versus 1. The 5 seconds left to go down. The player rotates for blue. It's just a question of time. Is Dennis going to be there to hold it? Yes, they are. But do they land the shots? They don't. Swing comes out from Atox. They find one. They have to look for the second. They can't get it. And such a close start to this game goes as we finish out round 1.
This is predicting a lot of good stuff for this match. Like you and me were already talking about these two teams before the stream even started. How this could actually become a very, very close match. I mean, in general, for season 9 of ESA Cup, we have mostly seen very close matches. I believe out of the 6 matches that have happened so far, 4 of them went to all 3 maps, with only 2 going to only 2
need
maps.
To locate and defuse bombs.
In general, the closest score that I believe we have seen was like a 7-1 score, which we've only seen once, and then 2 times like a 7-2 score. So in generally, very, very close matches. Probably also a result of like ESA reducing the team count to 16 teams, just ensuring the quality of the teams is much higher, and also every single team needing to enter the competition through the qualifiers. I mean, it seems to be really, really paying off, and so far this seems to be the closest competition ever. I mean, the closest skill gap between any of the teams competing in this competition.
Yeah, I mean that's just for the best, really, because you look at these teams. Nobody wants to see a stomp. No caster in the world wants to show up and watch a 7-0-7.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb
for the novelty, but in terms of watching the game, that's just not what you're there for. You want to see these close rounds. You want to see these close games, and hopefully these 2 teams will perform. If the rest of the games go anything like that last round, you're not too disappointed. One thing that is going like that last round is you are heading back down to this bottom floor. Now, both they had a player advantage at around about that halfway mark in the round, but then they slowly lost it, and the attackers were able to actually even things up. Where do you think the defense need to maybe make some changes just to make sure that that isn't the case?
Well, to be fair, the defense actually was able to hold on very long for the previous round. It really came down to the last bit of the round where they really started to lose their lives. Basically, it really came down to losing gunfights, really. Because they just held back the attackers for a very long time. The first kill, I don't think it happened until like the last minute or so. Maybe I'm wrong. It really comes down to defending the bombsite itself. Just holding back the attackers, they did perfectly fine. It just really came down to the last minute or so.
Yeah, I mean, probably for the defense, you wouldn't want to be doing what has happened now, but the past is the past. As you see, Maxine has been taken down, but all 4 defenders are still currently on this. They are playing it safe. Again, like you mentioned, a lot of time for the attackers to really commit to this utility and this verticality, and you think they'll take a damage as a result of that. But look at that kitchen hatch, that's open within 2 minutes of the round. Same with Moto, and they've got a player, they've got a kill on the board as well to boot. So now the util starts to go through a bit of damage on these attackers, but nothing too severe. The team coordinating, waiting for QuQ to go for that drop, go for that execute. If they time this right, it opens everything out. They weren't able to get it just right in the last round, but they were still able to win it out by a bit of heroics. The question is that going to be needed this time? The defense aware that this push will come through. They know these players are going to be down below, and that's why the due diligence is there. And they're droning through, so Sup is going to be looking for the shoes. believe it. That was next, so the damage, it's almost enough, but it just isn't there.
It was a very, very close call between these two players, but Apex already started to drop into the bomb site, actually, or right into the basement, I should say. Getting ready for potential engagement and getting closer to those defenders and the bomb site itself. See very good fights happen, but it's Atox and Yasuki both with 1 kill each, leaving just 2 attackers left standing. The Flores and Hibana, after which Hibana also falls, and Yasuki gets a final kill, and suddenly the round actually does go to the defensive side of Yuke, putting the score on an even 1-1.
Yeah, we're able to win that bottom floor bomb site, and I mean, you know, I criticise them. They played aggressive in blue at the early round. They lost that player very quickly, but then immediately they changed up their play style. They played very tight. They played very defensive. As a personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable in that defensive situation because I don't like sitting on a site. But you do. They enjoyed that. They were comfortable. They were at home under that pressure, and they were really able to just make QuQ go into difficult situations. I mean, we're seeing players peeking. We're seeing the players peeking Moto, and there's a player crouched underneath the table that they haven't spotted, taking that gunfight. Suddenly that one player's cut off from the rest of the team, so they can focus around somewhere else. They can focus on that hatch dropping kitchen, or they can focus towards blue. That was very well played from you. You've got to give them a lot of credit, and now as we head to the top floor, the question is, are QuQ going to be able to take the lead once again? Or are they going to be falling behind Yuke as we go to This is the kind of second side that a lot of teams do focus on.
Yeah.
And while it doesn't allow, a lot of teams will focus on that more spread out lineup, it feels like, I don't think Yuke are really going to commit too many players over towards that cash side because they've reinforced that cash construction wall. It looks like they've got a lot of players over towards that CCTV cache side. Most of them will drop off purely because if they get cut off in that situation, one player at construction window, that player's not getting back to site. So what they'll do is they'll probably rotate back and just wait for QuQ to clear it all out.
Yeah, it's just one of those bomb sites where you can really defend layer by layer. When things get too hot, you can just fall back one room from CCTV to cache, from cache to construction, and then eventually back to the bomb site and office. But Atox getting that opening kill onto Sapir. That's even the termites lost. Luckily for them, not the only hard reacher, but as he gets a second kill onto Eden, that's the Ash loss as well. This will hurt the attack very well. And with almost the Ash, or I'm not sure, I think the Doka will be getting found outside almost. Well, but basically things could have gotten even worse for the attacking side.
Yeah, purely because you're thinking about the flashbangs that's left on the board. At this point, all utility is so key with that thermite and Ash being taken off the board. The flash does come through. Kyron will enter and will find the kill. Shuts down Nexo. But honestly, at this point, you got to think Atox has just been getting away with it. Is it too little too late for the attacking team as they take control of stock, they take control of that CCTV cache, and they have to run outside for the defense. One player down, half the round left, and they haven't even made it into cache. They're only just trying to get out now. Immediately see the defensive lineup, their positioning construction. The blood is in the water, and they are feeling like sharks. You aren't going to give this up without a fight. As a result, what you see now is Dennis will look to put pressure over that safe construction and Logi hatch. If they can force Mirror out of the way, maybe they can open something like this.
Oh, but then after Larry also falls to the hand of Maxime, it's another attacker losing his life in 2 versus 4 now in the favor of the defending side, where we just approached him at the very last minute. Lots of ground still needed to be gained here from the attacking side. They barely got control over, I mean, they don't even have control over construction, but then getting the kill onto Maxime, that now might be a little bit more possible. However, there might still be a player inside of the office yet. The Mirror is playing there, and that's still one big of a problem. As long as the Mirror is playing here, it will be almost impossible, or at least very dangerous, to gain control of this area they're so hardly seeking after.
Yes, and then like you say, not just because they can cover that construction side, they can rotate all the way over to that master as well and cause another problem in the exact same way. As a result of this, what you would need to do if you started a player of QuQ, you would have to have a player on that hatch, but that's just a luxury they can't afford. Kyron's able to find Atox, but they don't know about Yasuki, just waiting. Flashback goes through, he swings out, he gets one, he gets a second. Yasuki able to shut down that round. I think we just talk constantly about the Mirror in Logi, and they showed us exactly why we were talking about it so much, Bose. Look at that for a clean 1 burst.
Yeah, beautiful double kill. We saw a beautiful double kill yesterday as well. You might have even seen it on the story of ESA Cup on Twitch, feature that we have started to experiment with to actually post some clips there from the previous day. on the story for the next day. It was a beautiful double kill by
Attackers need to
I'm not
locate
sure
and
which player
defuse
was like a
bombs.
bandit inside of Armory and Border. It was a beautiful double kill as well, almost just like this in a similar manner. And well, you can imagine that this one will also be shown on the story tomorrow. Beautifully done.
I think it's probably a good bet that it will be shown if
Yeah.
you're going to be the one posting it. But like I say, even a play like that, just the patience. Just, okay, well, all right, ATOG's got to take it down. I'm just going to wait. As soon as you
Attackers
hear that
have
one
discovered
player
the
swing
location
and they
of a bomb.
committed, that's when they swing, they go for it, because they can catch at least one player and there might be a refrag, and they still got the player and time on their side. Now,
5
Bose,
seconds to go.
here's one thing that I'm actually excited for. We're seeing a bar stock setup, and I think you're
Attackers are
very, very
moving
much
to
aware of
defuse
that
the
as
bomb.
well. Because as we take a look at this right now, they've got a castle on the board, they've got a mirror, they've got an echo, a legion, and a vac. This screams out information. Realistically, they're not going to really want to play on the side. They're going to want to hold above and towards the sides, maybe towards bathroom, maybe over towards strip. They're not going to want to commit too deeply on towards this side because it can be taken down from verticality so easily. Realistically, though, it's a side that, yeah, a lot of teams will try and avoid and they will try and steal away from. But then if they are able to take control of this, if they are able to dominate on this map, which I believe people will be able to, they should be able to deal with this side. You know, realistically, it's a vertical take. You get control of that cash side. You start looking down towards that plant over towards stock. Once you get wall open, get a player on the main door. But this is where the big problem lies. It's going to be this verticality. Maxim's going to find that first kill and open things up. Kyron will have an answer as well. And while the Brava goes down, so does Valkyrie. But the Brava going down, it's a big, big impact, as well as Dennis getting injured on the outside.
That's a very, very difficult start here for the side of the attacking side of MG QuQ, but they are making an entry now. They're just a Legion, and I believe the mirror as well, still holding the top floor. The top floor is extremely valuable for the defending side, but both the attacking side as well. And with the run out of a Legion, unfortunately, no, he's not having shots, but he's still going for another peek. The Turbo literally has wall hacks, but he finally gets a kill. It was just getting a little bit too close, but luckily he did manage to do so. But it did cost a lot of damage. The IQ, of course, only on 20 HP, trading with the mirror, which is now leaving Superior all left standing in a 1 versus 2 situation, which is definitely doable. He has 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. He is 54 HP. He has Harbor's utility. He has a diffuser. The question is, does he know about the player right around the corner?
No, they really do not. The swing comes out, though.
Ooh.
Does the damage, gets the kill. Soup, you should not be winning that. How do you let them take that, Akachi? But, well, you know, you can't complain at this point. If you are QuQ, you will take that. You will start using this verticality. But with 50 seconds left in a 1 versus 1, this site execute needs to come Soup. The defenders know roughly where you are. The drop comes Soup, and Soup's able to win it. They don't care that Soup knows. The beautiful distraction to do that verticality catches that castle. They didn't have enough time to react, and a beautiful way to close out the round. And we looked at the last round. Oh my lord,
wow.
What a clutch from Yasuki to close that round out. Soup, what a shift there. They were able to go in without 2 gunfights. They just shouldn't win. I mean, QuQ had a bulletproof camo construction.
Yeah, for a long time they did, yeah.
Defenders protect
Yeah,
your
I was just
bombs
about to
as
say,
they
what a
defuse
smart
by
move of
attackers.
the castle to actually just destroy the termite charge, because of course it's just really showing his location. It's very easy to destroy and just a very easy way to deny the verticality. But I didn't see the drop coming so soon. A perfect distraction from the termites. Beautiful.
Yeah, very, very well run round from the side of MG QuQ. But the thing is, for me, that site wasn't really one down to the strategies or the coordination of the team. It just came down to some really incredible individual plays. We can't deny that, Soup. That was a way to show up and make your name in
10
this
seconds
game.
to go.
But if we're going to go back to that site, we kind of need to see a
5
little bit more
seconds
from
remaining.
the attacking side in the round itself, because QuQ were very much in control.
Attackers are
They
moving
were
out to
holding a lot of
locate a
aggressive
bomb and
angles
defuse
from
it.
Master all the way to construction and cash. They were jumping out. They were swinging these players. They were going for kills with the shotgun on Legion from range. There was a lot of comfort on the side of QuQ that MG QuQ wasn't able to really shut down until it came down to that 1 versus 2. But we are going to head back down to this bottom floor site, and one thing we're going to see again is very much that defensive setup. Now, you'll notice on the attacking side there is no Maverick Bose, and there's a very key operator that's going to benefit in a massive way from that, and it's got to be that Cade.
Yeah, the K8 is going to be a big problem, especially since the attacking side did not bring any EMP nades whatsoever. The Twitch is the best chance to actually deal with these electric claws, because without the Twitch, those hedges are going to stay shut unless they make their way downstairs somehow, which is very, very unlikely. We can see the Twitch drone already getting very close, but the K8 just picked up his electric claw, but just in the last second before the drone did get destroyed, the Twitch did manage to find the first electric claw, leaving coverage with only just one in the pocket, and that's what he got to work with. And well, at least that defenders are also aware of the Twitch now, so the K8s will be a lot more careful with it. But at least they are going to be a little bit easier to be opened up.
Yeah, Maxime there will find their revenge by taking out C4 with that C4. Very nicely done, very nicely placed. Like you say, though, the thing is with these hit calls, there's only one left, and there's 3 hatches. So let's see who hatches that will get opened up. Like C4's been opened. Harry is peeking. Maxime takes some damage, but Nexo has an answer. The quick peek from Maxime, able to find that pick as Janus is able to get an answer. Nexo gets another one, and again, we are seeing MG QuQ in a 1 versus 4 scenario. The Ram upstairs has verticality to work with, but a minute 10 on the clock, no case in hand, and information pinging away that Nexo is on the way over towards that stock area. Will be running out over towards that hallway. Don't see information and just plays. Troy's trying to catch him off guard. Isn't going to be able to make that happen. Might run over the stock. Will take it down by Dennis, but Nexo's there waiting. Just kind of guided gently, shepherded into the waiting hands of that Fenrir there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a beautiful play here from the defensive side. A very strong defense. And this is the 3 rounds on the board for the defense. I was just taking a quick look here at the statistics for this map, specifically for this season of ESA Cup. And so far, it actually has been attacking favored by about 5% more. So 55% attack, 45% defense. So the fact that QuQ already has achieved at least 3 rounds could already be considered pretty good for them. Yeah. Where, well, QuQ should step up a little bit to at least secure the 3-3 split, which still should be very workable for either of the 2 teams once we see the roll swap happen.
Well, I think that's something I also want to kind of bring into, because we look at the next map, and we know that QuQ are going to be going on for the attack on that one, because that's their map. QuQ wanted to defend, and being able to pick up the advantage on this map, on the defense, is massive, because when we take a look over at Nighthaven, in this league, it's got a 40% win rate out of, 25 games, 25 rounds, only 10 have been won on defense.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like getting this advantage for QuQ on this fight, on the map that isn't even theirs, before they go into the map that they are expecting to win on, that's a pretty good situation to be in. Now, though, the pressure's on for QuQ. They have to get at least 1 more round in this attacking side. If they're able to do that, they get that 3-3 split. They go into the defense. You could still wager that they could very comfortably win this. Problem is, they've got to get to that point first. So now going over towards this gym bedroom site again. One of the big things we saw when we saw QuQ go for this attacking style was they got pressured very early over towards CCTV, and they didn't really have much of an answer.
They didn't. Sorry, I was just quickly distracted here by the almost a kill that we did see happen. The Zami just quickly picking to the softball, which the was trying to utilize in the favor, which almost got punished. Only 6 remaining. So only 1 bullet short of actually getting taken care of. So it was a very close call, but luckily for Larry, he's still going to be in play.
Again, seeing that Yin coming through that very aggressive playstyle that it offers with those smoke grenades, with those candelas, the very aggressive operator just driving that push through. Is it going to be Larry? And that's going to be a big thing, because Larry has that low HP. They might not want to be running in with these gunfights in case there's any traps or barbed wire that might do damage. Atox is going to be finding the head off Dennis again, though, able to pick that player on rafters from CCTV, just like the last time. Well, the group camera able to give away that information. We'll find Sup as well. The hero of 2 rounds ago is taken off the board again. It's the first pick as Atox will spin themselves. Backing up, Larry will have that answer onto Maxime. I said they might not want to go into the first fight, but it looks like they're going to have to, as Ethan and Atox both fall. It's all down to Larry and Chiron with 18 HP between them. Attackers against 3 defending operators. Frost, Mirror, and Mute.
Yeah, just 18 HP shared over 2 players. That's not a very good position for QuQ to be in at this point. They still have 1 minute remaining, so in time-wise, they might still be able to do something, but they cannot afford to take any damage. I believe at this point, how much damage does the barbed wire do again?
I wouldn't know exactly for certain, so I don't really want to say. But the most important thing for me with the barbed wire is it almost definitely will be able to down Kyron if they're not careful.
Yeah.
But there's frost mats as well.
Frost
But
mats
then
as
you
well.
look at the time, and then you start to think about the main kind of premise of the 20-second meta, because that's essentially what we're about to see. The pressure is on for QuQ to win this round, because if they don't, they go into the defense at 2-round deficit. If they do not win this out now, they will have that disadvantage, and they know that. So they're going to need to step things up. They might make mistakes, and Nexto's able to find one, gets a second! Oh, I'm loving the double kills at the end of these rounds, as players are just able to shut down the opposing team. It's something beautiful to watch.
Beautiful first half here of this match, but definitely going in the favor of QuQ, who was playing on the defense, where in a way this map should be attacking favorite, or at least so far it has been for this season. With QuQ now being on a 2-4 score, they are now moving to that offensive position, which, like I said, should benefit them even more. So QuQ is definitely on a very good track to potentially end this map. But if QuQ can be successful on the
protect your
defense,
bombs from
and
being
so
defused
QuQ
by
can be
attackers.
surely.
You'd hope. On a map like Clubhouse, you definitely hope, believe me. And they are going to be heading to that same bomb site, that gym bedroom site, and they're going to bring similar operators. The key difference I'm seeing at the moment is the Warden and the Aruni. Kind of similar play style that I'm expected to see from what you had, but just for different reasons. With the Aruni, those gates, while yes, they can be stolen by the Bravo of Maxime, you can use them for information, even if they do get stolen. But then it's utility denial as well. They're able to just use these in key positions just to really put pressure on attackers. And what you can see there is Ethan's just used one of those Aruni gates on that Logi window, and Sub's going to put that mirror window behind it. This is going to make it even more difficult for attackers to deal with it, because not only do they need to deal with that mirror window, and we've seen it have massive implications in that side of Logi, they've now got to commit utility and speed to get rid of that Aruni gate protecting it. That's something that I feel is going to be quite interesting on how they deal with it. Now, Warden sat over towards Red says it's going to be very difficult to deal with. That shotgun able to do damage from both top red and bottom red. And with those glance glasses, really won't have a problem with any utility that's thrown their way, for example, a Yingling. Factory MP has been brought down. I think that's a big difference in the attacking lineups that we've seen so far.
Yeah, the MPs are going to be definitely very useful, where the side of QuQ really brought utility out earlier on the defense to really deny those breaches. So the side of QuQ should have a bit of an easier chance here to actually open up those walls that they desiring to breach. They also have brought 2 hard breaches to do so, so there's plenty of opportunity for them to open up those reinforced walls. Just need to get in the right position and stay alive long enough to actually use that utility.
Yeah, the thing as well is the opportunity for QuQ to actually go over to that Jacuzzi side wall if they so wish. If they read into how many players of QuQ are actually sat over towards the CCTV side, you can rotate over, get that breach open first, and go for an aggressive push on site. It looks like that's what might be what they're about to do. Take control of site, and immediately Atox is going to start running in with the support of their players. But Kyron and Sup will both have a kill of their own. Maxime is able to kill Kyron. Isn't able to find a second kill. The refrag will follow from Dernis, who's out, and Yasuki has an answer of their own, looking to put down this player over towards that top red. And now 2 versus 2 again on Gym Bedroom. Just like last round, both sides have been swapped. Yusuke evens things up. 1:20 on the clock, and the attackers, they have control of this cash side, but still, again, construction, this needs to be dealt with. All of that utility is still there. These players are still holding that position, and with a Vector, you really might not really worry about what Sup could do against you here.
Yeah, this is a very strong position for the mirror to be in, especially with the Keeper Barricade also, the Laser Gate also defending the position to make it even stronger. But of course, the punch from the play will destroy the mirror, and it will make it unusable, really. Like, can only be used to gain information through. But this also works on both sides, of course. Mirror now the last defender standing in a 1 versus 2 with the HP extremely low in HP. So this could easily be turned into a 1 versus 1, one that we have already seen many in this matchup so far.
Attackers recovered the
honestly,
diffuser.
focus on the mirror right now, as she needs to get 2 kills in order to win this map, this round for her.
Yeah, and like you say, realistically, it might end up who wins the map out of this round, because QuQ, if they get this, they keep within 1 round touching distance of the attackers. But Yasuki's not able to land the shots. Sup's able to just step to one side and gets a kill. 10 seconds ticking down, and as Akashi pushes in, Sup's able to find another double kill. That really shouldn't happen, just to win out another round. And it feels like you might be holding on with the lifeline. That lifeline, it really is stepping up when needed. That 2 versus 1 situation, they were able to just isolate the 1v1s. You are giving them these opportunities on a platter. They're peeking them one by one, Bose.
Yeah, and maybe we just gotta adjust our expectations for the offensive side and really start thinking about the defensive side somehow also
Attackers
being
need
quite
to
strong.
locate and defuse as
Well, the
many
first
bombs as they
defensive round
can.
here for the side of MG Cook actually went in a favorable way for them. It did get very close. The mirror almost looked like she might not be able to win the round out, but she did. But at least it's MG Cook now getting one round closer to their opponent, just one round of being away from equalizing the score at the 4-4 marker. And well, this match is just becoming very, very interesting as well. Cook is just demonstrating that they are also very good on the defense.
Well, as the team that have their best map at the moment currently sat on this map, you would hope that they are able to defend as well as attack, especially as a lot of teams would typically favor that. Like I say in this league, though, it has come out slightly different as to their typical expectations. But that doesn't mean that you can't still be good on the defense. So they will head back down to this bottom floor site. And it looks like we are seeing a little bit more roaming coming out from MG Cook. They might be trying to have a little bit of pressure over towards these staircases and then just drop back down.
Scanning for electronics.
At the moment, though, they again got a very similar lineup. They brought that Habana, the Ram, QuQ, Ash, and that Thatcher as well. But this Thatcher, again, they're going to be able to just shut down any K-claws on that match, which I think is something they brought just in case MG Cook try and take advantage of it. They don't have that operator on the board. What they do have, again, is these really barricades, and there are 3 barricades and 3 hatches. So if they do decide that's what they want to do, they can make these hatches difficult for the attackers to push in. Keeping down the verticality already beginning as these ram drones will start to go through, and the IQ starts to do a bit of work over towards this kitchen side. No real pressure felt from either team at the moment. They can get that one for 2 minutes.
I mean, also Hibana already inside of the building, opening up those hatches. Of course, Hibana being perfect for the job. But the C4 from below from Larry shuts down that Hibana and denies any further hard breaching happening. As I believe the kitchenettes, yes, it's still shut. No more utility to actually open up that hatch. So the hatch is a little bit less useful in this case. Of course, I'm sure you can do it against other bits of electronic utility. But the hatches are going to stay shut. Or at least that one.
Yeah. Like you say, though, with these renegades, time is going to be really of the essence here, because you can see the utility's been burned, and that is a trade that, as an attacker, you have to be prepared to make. The thing is with the time as well, those renegades will reset. It will allow them to put that there, and while that kitchen hatch isn't available, you will see Nexo finding the kill onto Larry. But like I say, as time ticks down, these early barricades can go back up with the gates and cause even problems. Kyron's able to find Nexo, and now as that gate will go back up over towards that blue side, or they will actually won't be able to get the angle onto it because it's up against the wall. Ignore everything I've just said. That one's going to stay exactly the same as it was. The other hatches, maybe not. A minute ticking on the clock, though, and with the play, the focus and player down disadvantage, they are still going to have to make something work for them. And if they can take that advantage with them, they're going to have to. Time starts to tick down, the execute needs to come through, and they're currently positioned for a player towards Dirk, Kitchen, and Moto. But it's going to be Kyron finding their second kill of the round. He's going to shut down the Moto side. Maxime's going to have to drop in to get an answer. 30 seconds left, but they're going to have to make this push. Shotgun comes out from Ward, and Yasuke's able to find Soup, and all the eyes will start to turn. But they heard the drop. They know Maxime's in. Moto gets taken away. Yasuke's left on their own. The string from Ethan isn't able to find the kill. There's a bit of damage, but not enough needed. And 15 seconds ticking down. The defenders just have to hold angles. They're going to hold aggressive angles, but they're not going to overpeak. They can feel this. That 2-round advantage, they're going to keep it. Time starts to run out. The bullets start to break. Just the pre-fire. It's going to be Ethan closing things down. You get another defensive round.
Yeah, that brings us an equal match score of a 4-4, which makes this match even more interesting, back to an equal score, and both teams being just 2 rounds away from this point from the match point. So very interesting position for us to be in right now, where so far it's 2 attack wins, 2 defense wins here for the side of Officer Cook, and the defense is seemingly really working out for them.
Yeah, I mean,
defenders protect your bombs.
They're given credit to it. I mean, I'll give it credit to them. MG Cook have really started to open up on the defense, and that is really, really good. On the map that they are not necessarily supposed to win, it's not their map pick. It's one that they can kind of concede a couple of rounds and say, you know what, we've still got our maps, so we don't need to worry so much. The alarm bells aren't really ringing just yet. They're still playing very well. The problem is the momentum feels like it has quite heavily shifted in the favor of MG QuQ. As we take a look at the scoreboard here, you can see that it has, I mean, the round difference kind of has gone in favor of QuQ. They've picked up more rounds recently, and they're going to be heading to a bomb site, which you did not even bother to attempt. They're going to be heading to that cache CCTV. Now, this used to be the bomb site for a map like Clubhouse, but with a lot of changes to the kind of meta and siege and the way that devs approach the game, well, it's just not really returned to that former glory. MG QuQ, they don't really have that option. They won out gym bedroom, they won down bottom floor. The only other option is bar stage. A lot of teams don't really want to go through that. So though we'll get that mirror window on the board, they can see immediately that that Maverick is there. So, well, you know, they could do is they've got that util on the wall. As Maverick starts to come through, the EMPs follow. They're going to look to try and stop any player bandit tricking. The bandit charges will be taken off. The crossfires being placed. They're looking over towards that bomb. You've got the bomb chassis. They're looking over towards red. And as that breach, that mirror window will get opened up. They'll probably just jump off. You can't get a thermite charge down on that one, really. You're going to have to look to Mav trick it. As Soup's able to find Yasuke and takes that first pick in the round.
And it's a very unfortunate loss here for the attacking side, as they did lose their termites. Luckily for them, they did bring the Ace and the Maverick, however. So there are still some good opportunities for them to do some hard breaching. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult, as the termite makes the easiest and biggest hole in this case.
Yes, and as you see a bit of pressure over towards that Raptors side, it's going to be Dennis taking down Atox. The flames, as we're seeing Ether just having to stem up and running to safety as the peak from Maxime isn't there. Draw back all the way to full HP as those flame charges will not find its mark. Larry going to find Akashi as they push in towards that side. That comes out. Ethan's looking to just close this down for the defense and make sure that they keep that advantage. As Nexo's able to find the header. Super nice shot there. But it isn't going to be exactly what they need just yet. The attackers seem to have stalled out. There's not really much momentum on this one. If they go towards the breach, if they go towards garage, it really feels like a death trap. And if they rotate, there's no utility committed over towards that side. They don't have any pressure over towards it. So Maxime is going to try and find Larry. Isn't able to find their head. With 50 seconds ticking down off the clock, this round might as well just be over already. The Q mine goes off for Nexus, gives away that key audio information for the defense. And they're just going to start looking over towards that construction side. You can see there that the players are already facing towards construction. They're already aware, as well as that Banshee goes off, that Nexus is going to be coming up and playing in the 1v1 against that mirror window without the frag grenades on Maverick anymore. It's going to be very difficult to push out mirror. And that position, but Maxime walks up behind. Dennis is ready for it, finds a kill. Akeno goes out for the swing and closes down that round. A little bit close for me with that push on red stairs, but they knew what they were doing. They were ready. They waited a very dominant take of CCTV cache, which is arguably the least strong bomb site for a defender.
Yeah, indeed. It's one that we haven't seen for some time. And let's quickly talk about the defense. What a beautiful defense. And most impressively, the Doc just what is it? Like just tanking all the damage from the fire of the Capital and just stimming and stimming, just staying in position, not even moving an inch at the very beginning. And while just dealing with the damage in his own way, he can heal himself back up and he can actually survive the fire before he actually dying. The Snippets is due enough heals to actually stay alive long enough. And he just managed to survive in that position long enough to actually hold back the attack.
Yeah, essentially what that does for the attackers, and instead of having a massive impact to both HP and positioning, it's just wasted time because they're not able to take control of that position. They're not able to push in and move in towards Rafters while it's on fire, and that Doc is still sat there because as soon, realistically, before and after that flame goes off, they're in the same situation. Yeah, Doc has a couple less stims, but they've still got that full HP, they've still got that positioning, and you know, you're just down about 40 seconds on the time. Going back to this gym bedroom site, what we saw last time was we saw Soup able to win this out again in a beautiful 1v2. I feel like we're seeing too many 1v2s though. I know we're talking about how good QuQ are starting to show on this defensive side, but I've seen quite a few clutch scenarios. And while it's good that they're picking them up, again, I don't think this is what they should be relying on.
Now it really comes down here to the side of QuQ, now find themselves behind on points after being in the lead for quite some time. So this is really the time to show that they can actually win rounds here on the offense. The bomb side they have defended twice. and they have really shown that they like how to defend it. So they surely know how to attack it as well. They surely able to find the weak spots. You can really see, for example, here the Flores drone just finding bits of utility, already destroying it early on to make the attack later on a little bit easier. But also some of the Harbor's utility already being used, and just the secondary shot to open up some of the walls.
Yeah, I'm liking the bomb might be taken off the main stairs because I'm thinking we saw last round that one of those players was trying to walk up that gym bedroom side, and because of that, then maybe barbed wire or something like that would give them away if you try to open those main stairs. Now the players down below is something that you feel is very much an option on the board. This is something Ethan's aware of as well. However, as they're going to be holding up position, they spot the Flores drones, and as well as that, Kyron's going to be coming in the wings after rounds taken off the board, and as they try and find that kill, they're not able to find it. In fact, they get taken down by Atox, who's just watching that flank, aware that something like that might happen, and a player advantage in favor of the attack. QuQ, they're looking to get us towards match point, and Ethan will be pushing us a little bit closer in that direction. Just towards a 4 versus 4. Soup again stuck in this logic position, and it feels like they've realized this is a key spot to deal with. The drone comes through, the again Candela doesn't follow to try and find the kill, but they pushed out that player now. Ethan falls as well as Nexo finds another kill.
Attackers have
Yeah,
recovered
this leaves over the 3 versus the 4 in the favor of the attacking side of Team QuQ. So there's definitely good position for them to be in here, as they might be able to win this round out. But the defenders still having lots of utility, favoring the positions. Lot of reinforced walls, but as utility is coming up from the attacker side, flashbangs happening. You see drone overkill happening there onto Glennis, and also lots of damage are being done. With the 2 remaining defenders, Superior getting a kill onto Maxime, getting a second onto Yasuki. Oh, sorry, it was a different person, but getting a kill there. And Superior getting another kill to Atox, leaving Flores all of a sudden, which gets found by Larry and gets taken care of. And yet again, we're seeing another defensive win here from the side of QuQ. Even though it almost seems to be going to the side of QuQ on their offense, but sadly not. It's QuQ taking the match point with a 6-4 score.
I've got to say, these last couple of rounds, it's been QuQ's rounds.
Really,
until the last minute, and that's when QuQ have really started stepping up in the last 30 seconds. Like you say, very well played. Soup able to get a really good kill over towards Logi. They shut down the aggression from that position. Larry's there with an answer with the TCSG, not afraid to get that swing. Really nice swing, by the way. The 180 over towards that master bedroom window, finds that player, and then rotates to bathroom, is able to hold down that last one. We're seeing these trades come through, and again, time and time again, it feels like just the little positioning, the micro decision making that we're seeing from both teams is just pushing QuQ just a little bit further out there. I'm going to be honest, Bose, I had my doubts in the first couple of rounds when they were on the attack. But this is really starting to step up for me. Again, like I say, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of how close some of these rounds are getting, but if it's working, don't fix it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's what QuQ are looking to do at this point, and now in a really good spot, they're going to be heading down to this bottom floor for this very possibly final defensive round. You're really going to need to step it up on this one if they are going to stave off that inevitable end of the game. And with this one, I feel like we got to see a bit more pressure over towards the site and a lot quicker with a lot more players. I felt like they stalled out quite quickly once they lost a couple of players, and they didn't really have the positioning that they needed. I feel like maybe getting a couple of kills early on from verticality or just being able to hold some of these flank angles, that might be just the in that they need for the side of QuQ.
Yeah, in terms of what the QuQ is doing, they're all playing on site here. So the attackers are having a bit of a gift here where they can handle something fairly quickly. They did need to do a bit of droning, which makes me think that they did not have the proper pre-placed drones and not proper information up on the beginning. Either way, they still managed to make their way into the building fairly quickly within the first 50 seconds. And are now already starting to open up some of those floors and some of those hatches as well with the Hibana here. So the attackers do have decent time management here. Get even their first opening kill there onto Superior, just a mirror loss. Then even also with a kill there onto Atox. Well, brings us to a 4 versus 4. The mirror basically traded for the Ash. Good trade in favor of the attacking side, I would say.
Yeah, I think 100% that C4's taken off the board. The Vector, and most importantly, the Vector in the hands of Soup is taken off the board. Now, looking at this situation, like again, we're seeing these really barricades coming through, and while we are in a 4 versus 4 situation, one of the points you brought up about those flank cameras, about those pre-placed cameras, is that look at the side of QuQ. Atox is down, they are watching another player, they aren't watching another cam at the moment. Right now, I feel like QuQ have a really good opportunity to flank because they haven't got any flank denial operators on the side of Yuke. And only now is Atox just switching onto the 1 or 2 cams that are sat there waiting, which means Ethan's been able to push up these blue stairs. Oh, this angle, look for the kill, able to find it, and picks up another advantage for the side of MG QuQ. Yasuke will even things out, gets that refrag, but they can't be playing the refrag on attack. They need to be driving. They need to be taking and winning these gunfights. And if anything, they need to be putting MG QuQ on the back foot right now. 48 seconds on the clock, suppose, and it feels like they're just being pushed back. They don't have the control they need to. They're not confident enough to push in yet.
They're definitely not. They're just waiting for the right opportunity here. They're not really gaining any information. They're just getting themselves in a proper position and just hoping to get at least one more kill before they make the actual drop. But that is costing too much time. The Melusi right around the corner here. That's going to be a big surprise for the player. And no, he doesn't get the kill either. IQ then also losing her life, unfortunately, leaving Ace all left standing in this 3 versus 1. The last bit of seconds now remaining. He needs to get some kills here and needs to be able to survive, but he doesn't. Meaning QuQ wins this round and therefore also this map with a 7-4 score.
Yeah, and I mean, it felt a lot closer than it didn't. We just kind of kept to the last minute of each round. But like you say, MG QuQ are going to be able to win out that round. Yuke at the end there, I feel like moving forward for Clubhouse games, we've got to be looking at a bit of flank watch. We've got to be a lot more confident in the pressure that we're taking and the control that we're exerting. Because, I mean, we look at this, the scorelines, they're close. They're not really too far away. But when it comes down to the impact frags, that's where the real impact is. I mean, we're seeing players that are, while they're just trying to wait for that perfect time, maybe get another kill before they drop, like you say, Bose, we're seeing the defenders having a lot of freedom and movement to rotate around. Flank watches, nomads, gridlock, zeros, anything like that can really have a massive impact and really let you know what you're going into when you have an attack. But that just wasn't the case for Yuku. We'll see MG QuQ taking up that first victory from the back seat in the start of that game. But you got to remember, Bose, that is their map pick because we've got another map and maybe another 2 maps to go, don't we?
Yeah, potentially, especially since the upcoming map, which I believe, Night Haven Labs is going to be, is the map pick of Yuke. It's also one of their best maps, according to OPL. So we definitely can expect a nice potential comeback from Yuke. I mean, we have seen how close this first map has gotten. And well, with that map just being favorable, a little bit more favorable for the side of Yuke, I can highly imagine that map also going to be towards a bit of a 7-5 score or so, but then in Yuke's favor, which then would bring us to the decider map, which is going to be Cafe Dostoevsky. But before, of course, we will see Cafe, we first need to go to Night Haven Labs, which we'll do after a short break. So don't go too far, grab a drink, visit the toilet, and we'll see each other in about 5 minutes from now. See you in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. After a very short break, we're back here with the second map of today. And there we go. That's the one thing I mentioned. Let's go back into the game right here again. Again, we will see the video for yet another time. This is a bit of a weird bug here inside of OBS, but luckily now things should be all good. At least you got to see our faces just before we went to the second map. But McCready here in Night Haven, the second map, the map pick of Yuke after they lost with a 4-7 score against QuQ on their map pick, which is Clubhouse. What are we expecting on this map? Yeah.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Okay.
Wall reinforcements are going up! Changing mag!
10 seconds left. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Place device!
Reloading! Cover me! Won't let this one sleep away!
Jackal is definitely gonna help out on a big map like this. Actually, did Vigil just do a lot of damage there onto the Brava? Or did that somehow happen elsewhere? I'm not entirely sure. It might have been the dog as well, so the dog also got damaged at the same time. Maybe a little bit of a gunfight happened between the two that we just missed. It was very early in the game happening already.
Hack successful. 말보다는 행동이지. Need to reload.
Reload!
This is going to be very bloody as to the round indeed. Like you said, there's still so many people around. There's still so many roamers even. We can even see that the Goyo has moved his way all the way up to the top floor, just waiting. Oh, sorry, what up? It's not top floor. It's actually the ground floor, but
A
that's
bomb
sorry.
has been located.
But either way, yeah, like there's still so many defenders on the loose, just waiting for those attackers who are not ready, are not expecting. But as you can Buck already being
Attackers bomb
eliminated
diffuser has been dropped.
for the after 2 minutes.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Swapping mags!
15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go. Operators, you have run out of time.
Oh, this was definitely not a good start here for the side of QuQ, where well, they just couldn't find a proper entry. Like first of all, there were those defenders really roaming around, really slowing them down, costing them a lot of time. But once the final minute really approached, they started finally to get some kills. There was just so much limited time, so little time remaining to actually make a proper entrance into the bomb site. And you can even see like the person carrying the diffuser, I believe it was the termite, I guess it was. He just couldn't get in. He just couldn't get into the bomb site.
Reloading. Cover me. Wall secured. Camera ready to activate.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left.
Wall secured.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Loading new mag.
Shiba position.
Loading mag.
Secured.
Loading new magazine.
Tracks deployed. Track stingers in flight. Establishing link. And igniting Shiba activated. Hack successful. Start hacking.
Serious drywall work coming up. Door secure.
Drone gun confirmed.
Yeah, and they still have... Sorry? Well, they still have 2 of those C4s, so the C4s could definitely be taken care of by those ADSs. And, well, with the attackers already being in a decent place, like they have already surrounded the bomb site, they've opened up some walls, they're getting ready to actually make a proper entry. They're doing a little bit better than previously. However, they might be able to doorstep of the bomb site, but every single defender is alive as well. So every single defender is playing inside or very close to the bomb site, making it extremely difficult to actually properly get something going when the attackers are getting in closer proximity.
A bomb has been located. Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
No, indeed, it was definitely a hard round here for the side of QuQ. Like you said, they did get much closer. They started off a lot better. They got those
Protect your
walls open
bombs
pretty
from being
quickly.
defused by
They got into
attackers.
position pretty quickly as well. But it was just a very different defensive setup from the side of QuQ, from the side of QuQ, where they really basically bunkered down. Almost everyone was playing in or near the bomb site. Where on the very first round, a lot of players were roaming, so of course it didn't cost us much time.
Shield going out.
But really, once they were trying to make them move, things really fell apart for the side of QuQ.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this now, as we do go on to the third round,
Attackers have discovered the location
going
of
down
the bomb.
towards this site is essentially like that top floor site. There's a lot of verticality focus over towards this
10 seconds
CC
left.
side and towards that electrical. Realistically now, moving forward,
5 seconds
it's all about the
remaining.
verticality again. We're going to see MG QuQ are going to have
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
focus on the defense. You are going to hold and just be...
Attackers dropped the
well.
diffuser.
Now,
Attackers
though,
have
as
recovered
I
their
think I've said
diffuser.
before, I want to see you being able to get this late stage just under wraps. They weren't able to do it last time. We're going to have to look at doing it again. And now, as we move forward in, the droning, they've changed that lineup again. They've got Bravo, Bot, Thatcher, Thermite, Sentry, or Striker, sorry. This is going to be where they need to take this in with control. They got the pieces. They just need to bring it together. And Akashi's going to be able to find the first skill. Might be able to make that happen.
Yeah, the first kill already happening. That's the Legion taking care of a very important defender for the defense, and especially with his utility getting more and more over time. Him already losing his life very early on is a big loss here. Well, basically, that utility goes down to the grave, just like Legion. So that's a big win here for the attacking side, where they can really start focusing a bit more on getting a proper entry right now, where there's a bit more weight being lifted, where they now have a proper chance to go for an attempt to get further control.
Exactly. Again, though, they do have to deal with some of these operators in these very, very key choke points. The droning will be given that information, and we will see Akashi and Maxine both take it down very low HP. But Akashi's going to have an answer as they drone forward. This one. Now, we're going to see Atox take it down as Kyron, who retakes the position in favor of Dennis. And when the flashbang's flying through, nobody better than the border to take control. Now with Maxime taken down to that 0 HP in the down but not out stage, and with Akashi able to get the revive, the two players that could be looking towards hitting that site on such low HP will have to be backed up by Yasuki and Nexo. Time taking down a player advantage, so a much better position than they were in before, but not massively. Because now they're going to have to look at their biggest choke points so far. They're going to have to look at pushing forward. Larry will be taken down. Player advantage as Yasuki finds a second. Nexo has another one, and while Dennis does have an answer, it feels like you might actually be able to get their first round on the board on this site. Side control going in favor of the defense. They're able to go for a plan, but they need to be aware of this verticality. There's a good minds off. The drop comes through. Yasuki finds it. Drives home that first round in favor of the attackers. And now a badly needed round. This round was a must-win for them, Bows. Now, though, they're going to have to find 2 more.
Yeah, this was a very good start here for Yuk, at least to get finally a round on the board, the first offensive round win, which I believe, let me just get those stats back on for the map of 19 laps for ESA Cup so far. I mean, you already spoke about it before. It was a 40% attack win and 60% defensive win. So at least getting the first round win on the board on the third round here for the side of Yuk is definitely not too late, really. And from here, they should have a proper chance to maybe get some more rounds going.
Yeah, heading down to the spot on floor site again. This is the first one we saw, and this was where we saw, like we say, a very stale attack. There wasn't much bite behind it. It felt like a snake bite without any venom. They kind of started moving in. They had vertical control. They were starting to do the work, but they just didn't really know where to go from there. They weren't really sure when people needed to be, who needed to be doing what. And it feels like with 30 seconds or a minute left on the clock, trying to get the breach open and have a thermite push that by themselves, it just didn't bode very well for the rest of the round. Again, though, in the attacking side, we've seen the return of the Jackal on Yasuki, but not a return of Davis. It's going to be swapped out for the knock of Maxime. And with this one, I want to see this run go by a lot quicker. It's something that they stall out on quite a bit. Get the Jackal in, get the drones in with the knock. There you go. That should be jobs are good, and they should find this player and kick him out. At least maybe get a bit of damage they can use later on in the round. Is that going to happen? Time will tell. Dennis up on that top floor will be left on the board as Larry will fall to Maxime, who enters in towards his kitchen side. A good start as that bandit's taken away. This is one of the players that was really shutting down their push in their last attempt on this one, playing over towards that vending machine side. Darren is aware there might be a player over towards kitchen, positions themselves nearby, but doesn't want to give away their position because they're aware the longer they stay alive up on that top floor, if they strike at the right moment, can end around for Yuke. Kyron has a killer there.
And this brings us to a 4 versus 4 with still over just 2 minutes remaining right here. So there's a lot of time still remaining for either of the two sides. Mira taking a little bit of damage there, probably from the verticality, I would assume. But for now, the attackers still have quite a bit of job to do because I guess the Vigil is still on the loose. There's another player getting another kill. That's the Doc, I think, for verticality as well. But that's an attacker losing his life, unfortunately, leaving this round in a 4 versus 3 in the favor of the defending side. Jekyll finding a few footprints belonging to the Vigil, rushing up the stairs, trying to find the Jekyll and gets the kill. Jekyll definitely wasn't prepared for that, especially if the footprints don't update that regularly. And then when Nexo also getting a kill onto Ethan, it's a 3 versus 2 in favor of the defense.
I said that play was there, but not they were pushing up. That means that Dennis gets to stay on that top floor. And it means that with a minute left on the clock, with Nexo pushing the site over towards Suit, going up against these mirror windows and going up against these players trying to open things up, Akashi's still stuck on the top floor. Maybe a bit more coordination needed to make sure these attackers are where they need to be together. They need to push together because if we see Nexo get taken down or Akashi, either one of them, that's the end of the round. Kyron with that vector, with the ACOG as well, ready for the swing, gets it. Akashi's all on their own. They pushed into the top floor with the case, and with that 40 seconds on the clock, they're standing on verticality. They could be picked off. Though they do find Dennis. Akashi has to find 2 more in 30 seconds. Or at least put that plan down on site. Having to move down, so we'll reposition with Kyron. Make sure they've got a crossfire. They don't need to get that utility off the wall. They need to be pushing site. Akashi, come on, let's get this working. Let's get this train struggling. And now that barbed wire is going to do that damage. It isn't much, It might be exactly what the defense 10 seconds
seconds
pushing
remaining.
down. They have to go for that sprint in with 8 seconds. If they don't move now, the plan has to be down now.
5 seconds to
Otherwise,
go.
they're just not going to get this round. And I think you knows it as well. Taking that longer route, not going to get the plant down, rushes in.
Operators,
Let's
you
take it
have
down.
run
A
out of
second
time.
round on this bottom floor site, right down to time. And when this is your map pick, that's not a good sign at all, is it?
No, definitely not. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the tournament was just really taking his time a little bit too much right there. Yes, he had a verticality that he could use, and he did find like a mirror window in the process, but he was really taking his time to go downstairs. He really waited down to the last like 15-20 seconds to really make his way downstairs, even still checking
Attackers
for
need to
cameras and kind of
locate
stuff.
defuse as many bombs as they
I
can.
feel like he didn't really have the time for that. I think if he just actually went downstairs a lot sooner, he would have found himself in a 1 versus 2 gunfight situation where he might have been able to get a kill and bring himself into a 1 versus 1, which would have been very winnable, or at least he would have had a proper chance. So very unfortunate he decided to play on the verticality so long and didn't actually attempt to go to the bomb site instead, because I feel like that could have turned out a little bit differently.
I think just the positioning of the late round there has kind of said all it really needs to about Yuke's attacks at the moment in this first half. I think it's quite confident to say that for the whole
10
attacking
seconds
half that
to
we've seen
insertion.
so far. We've got our entry of Nexo pushing
5
down that
seconds
suit
remaining.
side at a minute half left on the clock, and Akashi is still outside holding the top
Attackers'
floor.
objective is to locate a bomb
This
and
team
defuse
needs
it.
to be a bit more coordinated on this one. I don't like being critical, but I'm kind of putting this out. This team needs to be together. They need to be communicating about where they are, what they're doing, and why they are there. If they're a minute left on the clock and they're still outside on the top floor with the diffuser while somebody's pushing site, that's indicative of a bigger issue for me. That's something that we need to get rectified, and I think it just all comes down to, like we said, each attacking round, we need to see a bit more spring in the set of you. The question is the next 2 rounds going to have that? Are we going to see them go to the 2 sites, or at least one more site that they've lost and one site that they've won? Are they going to have had that
Bomb
change
located
that
by
they really, really needed? A minute on the clock, and we're only seeing players starting to make an entrance at the moment now, and we still have Yusuke on the roof at the moment. The breach is open though, and we'll find that open kill going in favor of Akashi, so that's a good sign to start things off with. And if they want to prove me wrong, well, that's a very good way to do that. 2 minutes on the clock, and they're still going to have to start making a proper entrance to get ready for this exit.
Definitely eases things a little bit here for the attacking side. There's not having to worry about the Mira and 34. A charge also already being thrown to deal with the Wamai here. So with the impact trick and the mate here in hand, is trying or attempting to find the A charge. And unfortunately, the radius of this push is just a little bit too small to actually find the charge. The mirror window to be destroyed, unfortunately. So that's another big win here for the attacking side. We now have a nice line of sight and entry point into the bomb side. Plus the mirror window delta is really going to weaken the defensive setup.
100% now. As we take a look in, Larry and Kyron will both find a kill as they look towards connected side. Nexo has an answer, but so does Ethan. Again, things start to fall apart towards this electrical area. Well, Ethan will be taken down. Akashi isn't down. The rest doesn't come through just yet in case it was a bait. But in the time that the rest comes through, the audio goes out and Kyron's aware. The bait again, they didn't go for the res. Both players picked apart an electrical and QQ taking another round on the defense. And it really puts them in a much better stead here. So now, what you're looking at the moment for the side of QQ, as they head to that kitchen cafeteria side, you were stronger on this site last time. They got 2 opening picks, they had more coordination, they played together. That was the big difference in those rounds of what we've just seen. They need to do it again to get a 2-1 score, to get a 2-4 scoreline going onto the defense, which is not a great position to be in. It is a defender-sided map in this league. I mean, like I say, it's 60% defender-sided so far. But it's their map. We should be seeing a lot more of the basics being done right, in my opinion.
Indeed, and with QuQ now going to the kitchen, we're about to go and see what kind of defensive setup they are cooking up right here. And yeah, it's just a matter of time to see where this will go. It's a 4-1 right now. In theory, QuQ has already done very well for this first half. Even if this goes to 4-2, they're still finding themselves in a very good position where they can easily cook a win in the after the transition towards the attacking side. But for now, if you could at least get one more, at least one more round here on the board for themselves, put it in a 4-2, they might have some luck in the second half, and they are going to the defense, which could in theory favor them as well.
In all honesty, Max, this realistically is the round for me that decides whether we even see a map 3. If we see you being able to change things up on this one, on the defense, on the attack, they win this round. They can at least bring it back on the defense. But with Yusuke able to find that first kill, it's definitely the first step in the right direction. If we see you take down the rest of this round and get that 4-2 split, they can still bring it back on the defense. However, if they don't and go on a 5-1, that'll be a very difficult situation. Kashi has an answer, so does Atox, each finding kills. Maybe getting a little bit aggressive on this one where they shouldn't be. And giving away a couple of gunfights that they really shouldn't at this one. A minute off the clock, in a stark contrast to how we've seen it before. 3 players taken down off the side of QuQ, and then will have an answer into Atox. Takes away the round. But 1 player above, 1 player below on site. The Doc will get droned out of Ethan, will get the 3 kill onto the Thermite, but a Thermite knows they're there, and Kashi gets taken down. Looks towards the stairs, but they know that another attacking player is going to be, and the drop from Dennis will come through to help out. The drop off Yusuke will be down, they won't be revived, because they know if they revive, they give away the position. The kill is confirmed in the 2 versus 2. QuQ might have just brought this back, Max.
They definitely could be just 2 versus 2 and the close engagement happening here where the dog gets found. It's all coming down to Vigil if he still wants to win this round here for the side of QuQ and bring this map to a 5-1 score. But there's 2 attackers standing. You could really use the win right here and bring it to a 4-2. 2 standing. No, Darius finds the player with Nexo with the Boss G shotgun. Gets the 3rd kill for this round. It's not on a triple kill. And now we're finding ourselves in a 1 versus 1 with loads of time remaining. The member of the side of QuQ can really take his time. He doesn't need to rush anything. He can be very cautious here. But in the end, no, Darius gets to kill the Vigil. I was really about to say that this would be the kill here for the offensive player, but no. Magically, the Vigil lands the shot beautifully onto the last player. And, well, a 5-1 split. I was not expecting to see this pretty.
He barely even aimed. No, I didn't really either, because it's night and day what we're seeing with these teams. We see Yuke on the attack on that round. They were fast, they were controlling. As soon as they got a kill onto QuQ, they took that control. They took everything they could from it. It didn't feel like the other attacking rounds where they just felt timid. They didn't really push forward. That was just night and day. I'm not really sure why there's such a difference in these rounds and how they attack.
Attackers have
That was one of them
the
that they should have
location
had. Again, we're seeing one-on-one engagements taken in a 2v1 scenario. They had the numbers game, they didn't capitalize fully upon it. A really, really impressive performance by, I believe, Ethan and Darren is in that situation to bring it back. I mean, the Doc did a massive shift by themselves, even just confirmed the kill on Yusuke, because then that made sure that advantage stayed as in favor of the defense as possible. QuQ now going on to the attack. If they're going to fumble, this is the round that they're going to do it in. The attacking, it's a very different change in pace like we've seen from Yuke. And if you can come out of the gate here strong on the defense, they might buy themselves a little bit of breathing room, because now they need to play a perfect game of Rainbow Six Siege on this. If they lose this round, that puts them on the point. Well, yes, they can go back down. They can go to that site again or go down to that bottom floor. That's not guaranteed that they're going to win it now. And QuQ, well, they'll just be 1 round away from victory. The perfect game from Yuke to not only keep themselves from going to OT, but to get them through to the map 3 on Kav Dostoyevsky. And as the drones do come through, information will be gained for the attack.
Yes, perhaps a bit of luck here needed for the side of Yuke, but well, they can definitely do it. If their opponent could win so many rounds on the defense, then surely they can do as well. Especially since, like, this is their map pick. They should have practiced, so they know how to defend it. They are prepared, but it's really the question whether they can stand up to the pressure and the dominance of QuQ so far, as they have been showing. The first minute now also has expired. Attackers have already opened up some of the exterior walls, are already making an entry. We can see that Larry is well, getting ready to potentially try and locate some of those defenders with his little drone gadget. Well, attackers are already starting to surround the bomb site as well.
Yeah, and the problem is with the Death Mark is it's really good to kind of, you pick that roaming operator, then you're able to kind of narrow down the areas they're in. Okay, well, like you say you've got the bandit here, you can stop and pressure on them. Well, you know that bandit isn't going to be elsewhere, for example, the bottom floor. And as a result, that starting this process of elimination and logic to work out where players are going to be. Now, Kashi is stuck in a very difficult situation as Nexo and Atox will both find that first kill. So they are both backed into a corner and ready to fight their way out. 2 players take it down on the side of the attack at the moment. This might be a change in pace if they needed. isn't just there yet at the moment. Ethan finds a kill. Larry has the answer though. But at this point now, the damage may already be done and maybe too far gone. As Nexo pushes forward and gets a second kill in this round. And QuQ down in one versus 4 will be taken down in electrical. Apparently you can swap the teams, but the score layout is still the same. Taken down in electrical, shut down, and all right, there we go. That's the one round that we needed to see you really shift things up on. Heading down to this basement again. We need to keep seeing this. This cannot falter at any point now, Bose.
This is definitely what QuQ needed. The first bit of success after losing 3 rounds in a row previously. They finally found some success, and hopefully this gives them the boost and the motivation that they need in order to get even more rounds on the board. Because, well, defense, like I said, should kind of favor them, or I'm expecting it to favor them. And, well, with them now being on the defense and having the first round secured, they might find themselves on a roll soon where they can get even more rounds. 5-2 is still a very poor position to be in, but once they win another round, this will become a 5-3, and then suddenly things look a lot more favorable and a lot more doable. The opponent is still not on match point either, so there is still some room as well.
And I think the biggest thing to draw away from that is, like you said, that this is the round to kind of get the roll on, because like you said, they swap the defense, there'll be a bit more confidence because they should know how to defend it, like they should know how to attack it. But realistically, when you pick a map, it's because you're confident that that defense side is going to be yours. On the side of QuQ, that was the round. If they go into their defense and they start losing rounds in the same fashion they will on the attack, that would shut down their mentality. They'd say, you know, okay guys, I just got to make it a Friday. I just got to make it the defense. If you win the defense, that's great. But if you lose it, it just spirals from there. So really good effort from them on that one. Like they say, they just got to keep the ball rolling. This one on the bottom floor should be doable. The big test really is going to be that kitchen dining defense if they do win this, when they do win this round, sorry. And now, as time ticks through, the drones and the will take place. The Danos and Jackal, a constant combo here, but Yasuke misses the shots on the Boss G over towards Electrical onto Jackal. Atox will be running away with them as they realize they don't want to give away too much on this one because they're going to let Nexo pick the kill. They find down Tyron, takes the Ash off the board, and now they just move forward. Just not going to find those marks. Just keep droning it. And again, Yasuke's going to come up these blue stairs looking for a kill as Nexo is able to find Ethan, takes that player down, and a 3 versus 5.
It's really just starting to seem like that the defense is really the side that QuQ is really like counting on to be on. And now they finally do, and now they're finally popping off 2 kills already, almost getting a third as Larry is getting very low on HP as well. And well, this round is starting very, in a very difficult way here for the side of QuQ here on the offense. They're getting a kill onto Ado, however, 1 kill onto the defense, but with 3 versus 4 and loads of HP lost, as even the injured due to the Legion mine, things are not looking great for them.
Look at the damage going through now onto the side of QuQ. Yes, they still have that next round that they should be able to win. But now as time ticks down to a minute left on the clock, well, the hatches aren't even reinforced. It doesn't matter. They've played aggressively, they've taken very strong control, and now the verticality will start to come through. That hatch is opened up, I believe. But the defense are going to be focusing on it. That means Larry's got a massive job to do looking at the verticality, making sure these players can't swing. And with 2 HP on 20 HP on the board, that's a difficult job to have. But while the death mark will go through, it will try and find information. It will be able to get that player. And most importantly, if they were able to get that player, that control goes both ways. While they might be able to find a kill with 20 HP, it's not a spot you'd want to be in. Dennis spots 2 players, but is only able to land the shots onto 1. Doesn't even get the kill. Spots a player of Legion, takes down Nexo, is able to move forward. 3 versus 3, 20 seconds on the clock for the HP and time feeling in favor of you. Maxime able to drive that down. Dennis has an answer, has a 3rd kill in this round, but needs 2 more. An ace might be on the cards.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Push out to enter in. It's going to be Akashi shutting things down. Time ticks, and Larry drops and is taken down. Another round for the side of QuQ. Like you said, that 3-5 scoreline, a much better spot than that possible 6-2 they were facing down.
Yeah, things are looking much better right now. They're only 2 rounds behind on their opponents, just the exact same amount as the win streak that they're currently on the defense here. So if they just continue this, they will equalize in just 2 rounds from now, and then will suddenly be on a 5-5 scoreline. Then the map will be a lot closer than we have seen on Clubhouse, which was a 4-7 if I remember correctly. 4, I should rather say. But yeah, for now, it's really Yuk waking up, really starting to work things around back into their favor. Yes,
Attackers
there's
have
still a job to
discovered
be
the
done. They're
location of a
still not
bomb.
there, but they are on a very good track to do so.
Yeah, the thing is, though, this is kind of the round that MG QuQ are really going to be looking to close this down, because if they win this round, that's it. That's the match point. They can rest on the laurels that there will be at least overtime, and they can at least go back onto that defense where they were quite strong, and they'd have access of both sides. They ran out very quickly. The thing is here, though,
10
if they
seconds
lose
to
this site,
insertion.
you could get that 5-4 scoreline, like you say. And MG QuQ
5
haven't been
seconds
able to
left.
beat them on that bottom or top floor just yet. And as a result of that,
Attackers are
that's
heading
2
out to
rounds.
defuse a bomb.
Those 2 rounds will lead to a 5-5 scoreline. So if they win this round and go 5-4, get those 2 rounds on that we expect them to win, because they're the default bomb sites that a lot of teams would expect the defense to win, that actually puts them on the 6 bomb. That is where things really could get interesting for ourselves. So like I say, MG QuQ, this is the round that they need to win. They're going to need to focus on this top floor. They're going to need to focus on the fact that the Azami, the Mirror, and Castle are all going to be trying to shut them down, stop them from getting that momentum, and really stop them from getting a foot in the door. Garage will get opened up, and nobody's wanted to push that at all, because they realize the task at hand is upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs will be a very important position for either of the 2 teams. Of course, the defenders can
drop the
hold it
diffuser.
and use it to hold back the attackers as long as possible, and can defend their own bomb site from above. But at the same time, the attackers will have control, because as long as the defenders are there, it's very difficult to push sides. And once they have top floor control, they can contest the bomb site from above as well. So this top floor is very valuable in either hands, and that's why both teams are focusing so heavily on it at the moment.
Yes, and right now, like you see the pressure over towards that IT side. There's a big reason for that, because if they're able to take IT and that CCTV room, that electrical side, well, then they can take control of Garage. They get control of Garage and Rafters. That's 2 players isolated from sight, and the verticality really shut down. Of Atox will be taken down by Dennis, getting revenge for their 2 fallen comrades of Larry and Soup. Half the round left on the board. The attackers can move in. You can see Kyron's waiting just to explode at the perfect moment onto Maxime, onto that site. But time's ticking down. The case isn't in the hand of the defenders, and if they mistime or misjudge this, it can go horribly wrong. Akashi and Maxime all over towards the same area alongside Nexo. Now Kyron will find that kill. Jumps in, gets that Goomine out of pocket, but the position's given away, and the kill comes out for Akashi. Nexo has an answer of their own. Den is on their own. Will be pushing on this window. They jump in, they look for the kill, but they just can't make it. They don't know where Akashi is. And that is going to be another round for the defense, as you could keep themselves in this fight 1 more round at a time.
Yeah, very defensive favorite Nighthaven Labs that we're seeing today. This is the 3rd win in a row for the side of Yuk, so that's just as good as the longest win streak that we have seen on the side of MG QuQ as well. So Yuk is now only 1 round away from equalizing the score and bringing it to a 5-5, and at the moment they just seem unstoppable. The defense is favoring them so much that they can even go back to their first defensive bomb site, which they did manage to win as well. And it's really up to the side of MG QuQ to find a way to stop Yuk in their tracks, to really slow them down, because as long as the defenders are just being so strong, I can even see this going to a 5-6 eventually in the favor of Yuk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, Yuk at the moment, I've been very critical of their attacks, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I won't hide it, I have been. That might be well-founded. But the defense has really shaped it up. It's really opened up. And most importantly, it's also made me aware that QuQ isn't perfect on the attack either. They've struggled with some of the similar issues that we've seen from the side of Yuk. But really, for the side of MG QuQ, when these first gunfights do come through, they feel like they're not ready. Yuk are able to take the gunfights, win it out, and keep control of what they were trying to defend, whereas MG QuQ didn't really have an answer to it. They weren't ready necessarily going into those fights. They'll need to look at shaping this up, because like we say, this is the last opportunity to make sure they keep that lead before we do potentially go to overtime. And while Electrical will be opened up by that Maverick, the Thatcher will also be on board, just in case they need to get work done on that wall. And as you can see right there, you can see this is now cut off. Even if this wall doesn't open up those, they can use this to shut down freedom of movement from rotations, from players trying to take control of that garage side, and they'll be stuck over towards that one wall, as you can see that Mirror stood by. Drones coming through again. Nobody found on the defense.
Yeah, it's a very valuable position indeed to have control over, and also a very safe position to look through. It's just a very small line basically drawn where you can just easily look through, and any defender just walking there will have a very hard time to actually see you. Maverick, meanwhile, relocating himself to the other side of the map, where he's doing the exact same thing, drawing a line, after which in this case Superior is getting ready to use his thermite charge to open up the wall even further, to make a big fucking hole of thermite, like to say. Yeah, basically providing with a nice entryway line of sight.
Yeah, and most importantly, make sure that this team isn't going to be chokeholded into that connected door, which is something we've seen happening a couple of times, and a lot of teams really want to avoid in that situation. IT will get opened up, and Larry will be pressuring over towards that connector side. C4 can pull from Akashi, it will go out, and it will not find its mark because it's focusing on that player over towards that breach, which isn't there. The Maverick hold comes through from Larry. This is going to put a lot of pressure on the defense trying to hold that angle, which was really able to shut down that attacking side the last time we were here. Which means they might need to back away. They might need to hold different angles. So as the camera was electric, they know this player is waiting there. And now it feels like the information game might just be the one that gives it all away. 2 minute ticking down on the clock, all 10 players up in lobby, and it's going to be push comes through. Atox finds Larry. Refrank isn't found just yet, but the pre-flyer will be able to find Nexo as they start to even things out. 40 seconds now, think it down. The execute on the side is going to come from Electrical, IT, and Connector, as these players will just start to get ready to jump in and make this happen. The player of Sub will jump in. The damage goes down. Akashi will fall. Dead is getting a third in this round. Will they find a fourth? Not going to happen at the moment as they get taken down. Maxime has an answer. Finds Sub as gets that one of their own. And now Maxime all on their own. No C4 in pocket. We'll have to make this work. Push that connector, but it's going to be Ethan finding that round. And while they weren't able to take the kitchen dining, they will take that top floor site on the second time of asking. And a badly needed match point for the side of QuQ. That was night and day from the kind of a general attacks we've been seeing, Bose. I mean, that was coordinated. Definitely. That they'd realized what went wrong and had put adaptations in place. And that's something we haven't really seen that much of, is it?
No, it's really QuQ showing how to attack on Nighthaven Labs, something that QuQ wasn't able to show us. That was just beautifully done here from the side of QuQ, which now find themselves on the 6-4 score. Only one round away from winning this map and therefore the match as well. This also means that QuQ now finds himself in a pretty tight situation. Like, they need to win the upcoming 2 rounds to still have a chance to bring this map to overtime, where they then have a chance to still win the map and therefore have a chance to go through the third map and still win the match. Of course, QuQ has been doing very well on the defense so far. They have only lost 1 out of the 4 rounds so far, so 3 wins, 1 loss. And this means that QuQ is still doing pretty good on the defense. And well, this might just only be 1 round. Maybe they will be able to come back from it, and it doesn't really disturb their flow too much. But at the same time, they are now feeling the pressure because they need to win the upcoming 2 rounds without losing a single.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
The perfect game of Rainbow Six Siege is needed. 2 rounds to get to overtime, Bose.
Yeah.
And they gotta win overtime. Because if they don't, that's it. That's the first play day in the Swiss of round 1 done on a loss. And a 2-0 loss at that. If they do win out this overtime, then they will be looking towards that Kav Dostoyevsky. And it looks like the crab walking team heading down towards that breach. They've got all the players they need for it. They've got the Thatcher, the Thermite, the Nomad. They've also got the board as well, just in case the breach does come through. They are able to push through. There is a player holding it, but that plant is going to go down fast. All the 3 attackers on that breach going to be covering that door. And as that push does come through, the retake will answer. The C4 goes, doesn't find his mark. The plank goes down. This might be MG QuQ's time to just shut everything down. But as Nexo, Kashi, and Yasuke each trying to pick, that push might not just be what they needed. Kyron finding not 1 but 2 kills there, and now a 2 versus 3. The time firmly in favor of the attack. This one comes out from Maxime, doesn't find the kill. 3 and 10. Not the way that you want this game to end for yourself. When the attackers, one of them has to be on the plan, one of them has to go full straight. Nexo going for that defuse. Yasuke with the shotgun finds 1 kill. Finds it is taken out by Ethan, but Nexo gets the kill. Somehow keeps QuQ inside of it. And QuQ, a very good attempt at closing things down. It just wasn't meant to be at that point. The retake came through, and the Mossberg shotgun was all they needed for it. It was Yasuke with that shotgun just cleaning house, and the player advantage really coming into play to keep them on the board. 6-5. Oh, God, was that close.
That was a beautiful attempt by the side of QuQ. They really were like figured out, okay, there's a very big weak spot in this defense. No one is watching this wall. Once it's open up, he can get inside. There's a very safe place to actually go for the plant. And once it's
Defenders,
down,
protect
we
your
should,
bombs
in
from
theory,
being
win
used by
it.
attackers.
Well, that last part didn't actually happen. There was a beautiful comeback from QuQ, attacking their own bomb site, retaking their own bomb site, which they managed to do so, and therefore winning their 5th round for this map. Now with a 6-5 score, this upcoming round is going to be extremely decisive, because either we're going to have a winner for this map and for the match as well, and we'll be all over for today, or QuQ is going to win yet another defensive bomb site, a defensive round, and well, will bring us to overtime.
Attackers have located a
Yeah,
bomb.
and the thing is, they're going to be heading for this top 4
10
side
seconds
again.
left
So we're going to
before
see which
insertion.
team is able to adapt the best. Because, like I say, MG QuQ, they adapted, they had
seconds left before
adaptations, they had
insertion.
players ready to push over towards that breach. They didn't over-aggress over towards
Attackers'
connector,
objective
and they
is to
had
defuse a
information
bomb.
all the way through electrical, as well as that Maverick opening up some key mid holes that really shut down the aggression of the defense. Whereas in this round, like you say, didn't win it the last time we were here, so we're going to need to see adaptations from them. And I feel like this is where we see a good team against a great team.
Yeah.
Right now, QuQ, we haven't seen much adaptation. They're going to have to make that happen. Again, like you say, that long line at the bottom of this breach is going to get opened up. It gives away the information if there are any defenders playing towards that IT area, and it shuts down the opportunity to rotate. Super will get that breach open. The rotation towards connector will take place. Nothing to do that.
Yeah, basically, it's a bit of a similar start here from the side of QuQ. Just really getting those walls opened up at first. First Maverick drawing the line, and the Termite coming in to open it up. Just a little bit different here on this other side of the map, where they're just splitting up a little bit. But that's also a good way where to actually to equally distribute their strength and utility, which allows the just move a little bit faster and a bit more effectively.
Look at how many C4s on the board. 3 being brought out from QuQ, 1
Attackers
being
dropped the
used
diffuser.
already.
Attackers have
Not
recovered
really having any impact. These X charges will go and take down that mirror window and shut down the power of that position to a much higher degree. And you can see here that a lot of lines of sight just to be able to just make sure if something does go wrong, they can try and bring it back. As the flawless drones will start to go through. Hopefully the side of MG QuQ can get a player in up against that mirror window. They've also got people down below ready to deal with this. Now, we've talked about the verticality of this. We've talked about how important that is on a map like this, and it goes both ways. If they can get that hash charge down below, they get the mirror window open, they push the player off that position. Time ticking down to 1:15, and Nexo, really low HP, has that shotgun though, so he's not out of the fight just yet. Over towards electrical, over towards that blue side, sorry. And as time ticks with 1 minute left on the clock, it is make or break time. Like you said, if QuQ win, they close things out here. We do not see Kaf Dostoyevsky, but if QuQ are able to keep in it, we will see overtime, and they do have an opportunity to bring us to the 3rd match. As we see Maxime be taken down, Nakashi has to follow as well. And now as Nexo has an answer, it's a 3 versus 3. Atox finding a player off their own. The push with 40 seconds left. Oh, the push comes down from Kyron, finds a player on the breach, doesn't confirm the kill as Atox gets that one. Soup finding their own. And the revive can come through. This is the situation for the moment. But Yasuke is going to get confirmed by Dennis. The writing maybe on the wall with 30 seconds left on the clock. But nothing's in hand. Atox has that position. Will go for the swing on pillar. Isn't able to find a killer to Dennis. Will get it eventually.
Attackers
And has
recovered the
control
diffuser.
of that site. A triple kill on the board so far. They need that quad. And if they're able to win it out, oh, they're not, as Soup goes to the peak. That clutch factor in Clubhouse, time and time again, is going to be showing themselves in this last map that we are going to see. They take that victory, a 7-5-1, and it nearly got away. You've got to give you credit. They had a really good opportunity and a really good effort to try and bring it back on the defense. Just if they had a slightly better attacking side, a bit more adaptations they could bring in, and a little bit more flexibility in their attack, that was their map, let's be honest.
Yeah, this was an extremely close map. I think QuQ did a beautiful job of actually working their absolute best to work things around. They did a very good job. They got extremely close. And it really came down to this very last round, which unfortunately went in the way for the side of QuQ, or at least unfortunate for the side of QuQ then. but they did try their very best. And well, nonetheless, it was QuQ in the end who is the victor, who has been the stronger team, who has really proven that they belong in the high part of the second round of the Swiss system. But at the same time, QuQ did an incredible job. They are going to the lower part of that Swiss system. And even there, it's not over for them. They're not in a danger zone right quite yet. There's not an elimination match. They are still going to have a beautiful chance there as well.
Yeah, but the big thing for me, Pose, is looking towards that. We really need to see that improvement come through. Like the attack, I can forgive that game because the defense really stepped up. But if we're seeing an attack like that on one of their favorite maps where there isn't much adaptation, which they're going to need to bring on in the future, the flexibility and just kind of a little bit of problem solving. When things go wrong, how are they going to deal with it? That's what I want. They're going to need to have a look at and improve for next time so that when they do go into that next week in that second round of the Swiss playoff, the Swiss bracket, sorry, they will be in a much better stead and hopefully avoid that danger zone. Because like you say, there are no eliminations so far, but that does not mean there aren't going to be any in the future. So things really need to start to step up. QuQ, though, very well played. I'd like to say they will emerge the victors of this game today. And while it is a 2-0 victory for themselves, it really could have been a lot closer quite a number of times. And it could have been a very different scoreline.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it got really down to those like final rounds. It was a 7-4 on the first map, then 7-5 on the second. So it wasn't exactly a very one-sided match if you look at the actual round differences. But of course, on the map score, it was a 2-0, very favorable for the side of QuQ and very convincing as well. Well, we were talking about that Swiss system already a little bit. We can actually take a quick look at it. So let's actually take a quick bring it up. Here we can actually see most matches are already being known as well. Like these are the actual matchups as you're seeing them right now. There's just one more match to be played tomorrow, which is E-Wave versus PBX. But we can already see that QuQ will be competing against Entropy Gaming next week, Wednesday, where then the side of QuQ will be comparing the week after, also on the Wednesday as well, against Team Solaire. So yeah, we can already see the Swiss system, especially for the second week, already taking most of its shape. But for now, there's just one more match remaining tomorrow. And talking about the match, let's also quickly talk about that one as well, because I already told you, E-Wave versus PBX, that's going to be the match for tomorrow, which is also, of course, going to be broadcasted on this channel. And well, with this match, we will then round up the first round of the Swiss system, where then we'll have a total of 8 teams in the upper part and 8 teams in the lower part of the brackets.
Yeah, and like you say as well, Buzz, with this one, the game that we're going to see tomorrow, which is E-Wave, going up against, if I just take another look on that
PBX.
PBX, yeah. The winner of that game will be going up against MG Minions, another Mystic Gaming team on that one. And the loser of them will then be going up against Team Master in the next round of the Swiss. Most importantly, though, that means it's just a game you do not want to miss at all tomorrow because it really just rounds out this first round so beautifully, Bose. But that is going to be it from us tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be it for tonight. It was a beautiful game. I really enjoyed this one. It was a lot closer than the match of yesterday, where we saw, I believe, a 7-2 and a 7-1. So much closer. And it once again proves like how well matched all these teams are in terms of their the game skill level. And this just makes me even more excited for the upcoming weeks, where basically the whole Swiss system is a big sorting system. It brings the best teams to the best, and then lesser performing teams to the lesser ones, which should make the games even closer. So for now, like we already said, this is it for tonight. We want to thank all of our viewers for being here. My name is Bozo Max. I was here by McCready. Thank you for being here, and we hope to all see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.